I'm about to get into bed with Joan Rivers. I'm a little nervous because I heard her say on the Howard Stern show recently that she hasn't had some action in a while, and I'm nervous she might try something with me, and I don't know how to do lesbian stuff. So I'll try my best if that's what she wants. Otherwise, maybe we can just snuggle.
Hi, I'm Joan Rivers, name of the show, In Bed with Joan, and let's see who's coming out of my closet today. Hello?
Hi,
Joan. All right, Joan Kirkman, nice to see you. All right.
Hello, thank you. Nice to see you.
Tell about the book.
Oh yeah, I wrote a book. I can barely take care of myself. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it's about how I don't want kids. But it's not really how I don't want kids. It's about the crazy reactions people give me. You know, there's no one knows how to small talk anymore. You go to a party. Oh, are you married? No. You have kids? No. Why do you have kids? People just start freaking out. Can you afford it? You're going to die alone. I'm like, oh, we're all going to die alone. My grandmother, a kid, she died on the floor. You know, you don't know. By the way, in a black bra and no underwear. What? Not even Amy Winehouse died in such a weird position. What was my grandmother doing? I just figured maybe when you get older, your genitals always feel hungover and you want them on a cold linoleum surface. But I don't know what she was doing.
And who found her?
Oh, my uncle. Because she wouldn't get her doorbell fixed. So whenever he had to visit, he had to open the door. And he said, you know, by the time she turned 98, he knew every time he was visiting, it was is today the day I'm going to find the body? We all thought we'd find her in bed. We never thought we'd find her on the floor in a black bra and no underwear. But anyway, I digress. That's my next book. But anyway, so the book is about, you know, all the crazy things people have said to me who don't even know me about my decision. And just, you know, it's a funny read for people who don't have kids, who feel alone. And hopefully it'll educate people who are so rude to just butt out.
Do you feel you still have the right to say to people, butt out when they're rude to you? Or do you feel now you have to be nice because they're potential fans?
Oh, I don't care about fans. If they're rude to me, they're not a fan. F them.
Okay.
I'll make more. Oh, I don't care anymore. If I'm a fan of someone, I love them. But I love one of your things in your book that I loved was when
Which
you said,
one?
Enter Talking. I have read the others.
7 books.
Is when Lenny Bruce wrote you that note that said, "You're right, they're wrong." I think about that all the time. I pretend he wrote it to me when things aren't going well. Yeah.
But did I tell you the second half of that?
No.
I lived for years, and I shouldn't talk, it's my show, and I want you to talk. Not that much, but I want you to talk. But for years, I lived on, Lenny Bruce sent me a show, You're Right, They're Wrong. And then one night I'm sitting with George Carlin, and he's saying, you know, Lenny loved me. Because we all, everybody was about Lenny loving you. I said, yeah. He said, he wrote me a note one time. Said, you're right, they're wrong. So obviously, he kept them in his pocket, you know. And instead of paying the bill, he just sent a note back.
Oh, that's so funny and well, that's all right. Maybe it was just you two.
Maybe
that's
it was just George Carlin and me. Who did you look at when you were growing up that you wanted to be like, or thought it was very funny?
Well, I don't want to say you because then you yell at me.
Yes.
I'm not old, but I loved you, and I loved Roseanne, and I loved Sam Kinison. I don't know what about him that as an 8-year-old I related to. But I would sneak over to my friend's house because she had HBO, because as my mother said, her mother's a nurse, she's never home, you're not going to her house. And so I would sneak over to her house, we'd watch Sam Kinison on HBO, and he was my favorite, that bit about if you don't want to, you know, why don't you live where the food is? I don't know what I understood about that at 8, but I just loved, someone is yelling and I'm not in trouble and it's funny.
Yes.
He was a big thing for me.
And then he got sober and he got less funny. So what does this teach us?
Teach us just to have enough alcohol to be funny.
Exactly.
Not so much that, you know, you're bothering people at 5 a.m.
Or driving with Winona Ryder or Lindsay Lohan. What about, now you're doing Drunk History, which is taken off.
Yes.
Did you expect that?
No, a friend of mine just came over one time and said, will you please get drunk and tell it. You get drunk and you tell a story about something historical. And you get very passionate about it because you're drunk. And then they have celebrities reenact what you're saying, like they lip sync it. So we've had Will Ferrell, Don Cheadle, and now it's coming out on Comedy Central. And I've done 3 so far, but I've done it as I get older. The hangovers are too terrible. I cannot do another one.
And you really have to get drunk for it.
I really have to get drunk. So I drank 2.5 bottles of wine.
Oh my!
It was a lot.
And what did you speak about historically?
I've talked about Frederick Douglass. And my recent one is about this woman named Mary Dyer, who nobody knows about. She lived in Boston in the 1600s, and she was one of the first people that said we have to separate religion from the government. And she said people should be able to do whatever they want with religion. So, of course, they hung her on the Boston Common.
When did you know you were going to go into this?
I think I knew when I was in high school, but I didn't know you could be a comedian. I thought every comedian I saw, those were the comedians, and nobody new could come on, which I know you would have loved. But
that's my kind of stuff, yeah.
But I think I started going to the comedy clubs when I was in college and watching people. I remember seeing Anthony Clark and Norm Macdonald live, and all just kind of local Boston guys. And so it was right about when I was about 20, I started doing it. I thought I was going to be a serious actress.
See?
But every time I did something serious, people laughed.
Yeah.
And so I said, maybe I'm funny.
But every comic is basically a very good actor or actress.
Yes, because you have to pretend it's going well at all times, or pretend that you don't care, or pretend you're just coming up with it.
Right.
Or pretend, oh, what a great paycheck, thank you. You know, that kind of thing.
What about hecklers in the beginning? Did you, because you're very pretty, so in a way.
I wasn't pretty in the beginning.
Oh, so what did you do?
I looked like more of a lesbian than Rosie O'Donnell. I had a short haircut that didn't look good on me, so I had to shave it because it was so awful. And I had acne, and I was wearing vests. It was terrible. I was not pretty at all.
So that's good, though,
So
for
that
comedy.
was good. It was good for comedy.
Yes.
But then as you get older, I think it gets more sad. So now I like to look, now I like to look nice, especially if you're, divorced and don't have kids, and you don't want to,
You're looking now.
you got to look good.
Are you going with anybody? Are you with somebody now?
Well, let's not restrict it to somebody.
Oh, okay, that's
You
good.
know, one or two people. Whoever wants to take me to dinner, I'll go. Just don't bore me.
All right.
Yeah.
So if all the men in Hollywood,
Yeah.
comedy, not comedy, who would you like to meet? Because now that you're coming into that, you're moving up quickly.
You know,
so you'll be
what? I'm
meeting.
still not even hot enough for David Spade. That's how cruel comedy is. That's how cruel comedy is. I have always thought he was a cutie until he started looking like Ellen. But he is so cute. But he still would only date a model. I'm 39. That's old for Hollywood. So my dream would be like, I love that James Franco. I think he's wild and crazy. Maybe too much of a pothead. And I love George Clooney. And I heard he's single.
Yes.
I have some Hollywood gossip for you. It's about George Clooney.
I love any gossip.
A week before they broke up, I got into a cab. When I stepped into the cab, I put my hands down and there was a Chanel clutch purse. And I said to the driver, ooh, someone left this here. And I don't know why. I opened it, took out the license, swear to God this is true. It said Stacy Keebler. There was $4 bills in it, no cell phone. And I said they broke up. Because no woman of his would be in a cab, even if he was out of town. He would give her the driver. She's on the cell phone crying, George, take me back, take me back. She's discombobulated, gives her last money to the cab, leaves it in. I told everyone I know.
There was no cell phone. Or it was, go to hell.
Yeah. Or put George on the phone, his new girlfriend had picked up. Yeah.
Put George on the phone.
So I said to everyone, I think they broke up. And then a week later, which was, they did.
What was the best thing that's happened to you so far, and what was the worst thing that's happened to you in our business?
I worked at an internet company where my boss came to me and he said, somebody is picking their nose and wiping it on the wall. I need you to go in and measure, and then we'll figure out from the booger to the floor. We'll figure out how tall it is, and then we will measure everyone in the office and figure out who did it. So that was maybe my worst job. My second worst thing in the business that ever happened was that miserable Governor's Comedy Club on Long Island. I was playing that club, and somebody had a birthday, and the waitress came out with a cake that was shaped like two boobs. And they started chanting, all the guys, boobs, boobs. And I thought they were asking me to take my shirt off. And then I looked, and it was just, they were chanting for a cake. And then they started singing Happy Birthday, which I know we don't have the rights to. I won't sing it.
You're going to be the Montreal Comedy Festival.
Myself and a few other people, men and women, are opening up for you. We'll each do 5 minutes, bore the audience, and then you'll come out and they'll go crazy. It'll be great.
And then I have to perform?
And then you're going to have to perform
After you?
After me.
So who's on that's bad?
Don't
Maybe
worry, I'll bomb.
Do you know who's on with
I don't
us?
know who the other people are. I try not to know other comics.
Would I be asking too much to ask you not to do your first-rate material?
Absolutely. I'll do some of my early open mic stuff.
Yeah.
How about that? You know what? I'll do what Lenny Bruce did towards the end of his life. I'll just read some court transcripts.
I saw that. It'd be nice. Do stuff that you want to try out.
Yeah.
So the rhythm isn't there yet, nor is the security there.
Yeah, I'll say, let's just talk.
Yeah,
right?
I love that when they do that.
Oh, when people think they can do that, I'll just talk.
When people say to you, "Hey, come on, Jen, it's easy. You just talk for 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
easy." Yeah.
No, it's not easy. You have to make it look like you just thought of it.
What does your family think about what's happening with you?
My mother always tells me, some people come up to me and tell me your material's too raunchy. She's like, but your father and I love it, because they're 74, so they love it.
That's so...
But I have a feeling they think it's too raunchy, but they're saying other people do.
What about political correctness with Paula Deen?
Uh-huh.
What did you do about that? Did you go nuts? Because I had such a good time with that.
Well, I just love the way that she... When she was on the Today Show, and Matt Lauer said, so do you understand why people get offended by the N-word? And I'm just screaming, just say yes, just say yes. I don't know, Matt. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, my God. But, I don't understand how we can get in trouble for admitting I said the N-word to my husband. That's what I really don't understand. I don't think anyone should say it. It's a terrible thing. But, I mean, oh, my God, some of the things I've said. I'm so glad nobody had a tape recorder on me.
Oh, if anyone calls somebody something, we talked about this off camera, everybody is something, as Lenny Bruce used to say, and everybody, so it means nothing anymore.
But I do think that it is funny that she keeps saying, listen, all the black people that work in my kitchen, I love them. It's like she's never named a black person that she just has lunch with. The black woman that rubs my feet before I get up in the morning, she's definitely not an N-word. No, not at all. She doesn't seem to have a normal relationship with any black people.
Where do you want to end up? In a series, in movies, writing, Broadway?
I can always write. So if anyone needs a joke here, I'm always on hand as a writer. But stand up is my love. It's the only thing I want to do, and I want to keep doing it until, a million. I'm a million.
Yeah,
it's the only thing I like, and I'm hoping my audience will grow up with me. So whatever I'm going through, they're probably going through, and it's the only thing I love doing. It's the only thing that excites me.
What about the men you date? Do they always say to you, are you funny in bed?
No, they've never. Oh, if they did, they would be out.
Yeah,
they would be out.
yeah.
I'm so a sexual fart. No, I'm kidding. But no, they don't say that. But I won't date anyone that has any problem with me being a comic. They have to somehow be in the entertainment world. They can't be making bad jokes or thinking I'm, never serious. It's a very fine line. You don't want some, Larry the accountant who's, telling you some weird joke about the golf course.
And you got to go, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, and you're like, ha, ha, ha. But you wrote something, again, I'm a stalker. You wrote something recently, maybe you remember, but it was like male comics don't want to match wits with people. They really, really don't. And that's the unfortunate thing. They want they want to come home to the cooking and the laughing. Right. But if a male comic, if they marry me, I'm just going to go, oh, that's funny. I'm not going to laugh out loud. So I think it's definitely something that, I definitely need someone who makes me laugh and surprises me.
Yeah. In your childhood, there had to be someone that you either hurt, you'd like to apologize to, or conversely, is there someone you just like to say, look where I am and you weren't?
Ooh, can I do both?
You could do both.
Okay. I'm going to apologize to Amy Orlansky, who I put a coat over my head and said, I'm the penis from Venus in 3rd grade on the school bus. And when the bus driver told on me, I said that Amy did it. And she was such a nerd that they believed it. And so she got in trouble and got suspended for a couple days.
Didn't you, seriously, dedicate your book to your teacher?
Yeah, I did. I call it an undedication to Mrs. Newton, who told me that when I was little that writing funny things is not good writing, because I used to write funny short stories, and she said I would never become a writer if I did that. So, Mrs. Newton, you were wrong.
Right into it.
New York Times bestseller.
So, who's right and who's wrong now, Mrs. Newton?
Yeah.
Huh? Huh? Answer us, bitch. Now, let's get Melissa in here to ask you the question. We always do this.
So I'm going to give you two options.
Okay.
One is gone forever.
Okay.
It's like firing squad. Like
Okay.
Gone, never to exist.
Got it.
Okay. Laverne or Shirley?
Oh, Shirley.
Shirley.
Yeah.
Why?
She's a nerd. What kind of stories does she have? She sleeps with a stuffed animal. Laverne's got some stories in her.
Laverne's no
nuts.
virgin.
Yeah, exactly.
Laverne wasn't a virgin. Okay.
Sorry, Shirley.
Driver or passenger?
Driver stays. Yeah.
Are you a bad passenger?
I'm a horrible passenger. I yell at cabs. I just recently had a cab driver drop me off in the middle of the freeway. I had another cab driver drop me to the police.
Why did he drop you in the middle of the freeway?
Because I said, you're going through red lights, and because he's from a country where women aren't allowed to show their nose, I don't think he respected me very much, and I said, you're driving terribly. So he dropped me off on the freeway, then he came back, picked me up, and he took me to a police station, and I reported him, but nothing happened. I hate cab drivers.
Hot dog or hamburger?
It's hot dog goes.
Hot dog goes.
It's too rubbery. I like a hamburger. I like all the bread that comes with it.
If you were going to be a non-vegetarian for one day, what would you eat?
A hamburger.
A hamburger?
Yeah. And I have a pilot with cheese and all kinds of,
Clooney or Pitt?
Oh, Clooney, come on.
Clooney stays.
Clooney stays. Pitt probably, listen, allegedly probably has something. That's why he's not leaving Angelina. If you don't think...
I've missed this one. Wait, back up.
If you don't think that Pitt has some kind of medical problem from having been with that woman, and that's why he doesn't leave her, you're out of your mind.
Do you think that no one will ever be able to match that, or...
Listen, anyone can bring out some whips and give you a thrill.
Right.
But if you have a STD that you can't take care of, you're going to have to just stay with that person.
Fair enough.
This is all allegedly.
So what'd you bring me?
I don't know, a nice cake bread Sauvignon Blanc. I thought you might like a white wine.
Wow.
I don't know if you're more of a Chardonnay gal.
This is good wine.
But cake bread's good stuff.
That's some good
May.
It's from May 2013.
May, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I figure you can drink it at your shows or throw it in the front row.
No, that's fine.
Someone's
I'll
passing
give it to my illegals.
Oh, yeah, give it to them. They'll love it.
Yeah, I'll say this at the Christmas party.
Oh, and I'll make sure you're invited to her
Put it at
90th.
the Christmas party. Thank you. And if someone else dies, I'm going to have the party anyway.
Fair enough.
And this says,
Oh, don't read that.
hello today. Sorry. Only reason I'm here is because Kathy is busy. Everybody, Jen Kirkman. Everybody, Jen. Okay. So, it's joy.
Oh, I love you.
And we always ask, we have the clapper. So would you do the honors of clapping us off?
You got to do two.
I was just in bed with Joan Rivers, and I learned that she smells great, and she's actually very, very nice. That bitch persona you see on TV is probably accurate, but she was nice to me, and that's all that matters.
It was so great to be in bed with a female comedian who does want to have sex with me. No offense, Rosie. By the way, thanks for the bookcase, Rosie. Let me know who you'd like to see in bed with me. You can do it by sending me a message on Facebook or Twitter.